meeting to order for August 1st, 2024. It is 6:03 p.m. Start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment?
The only thing I have to comment, I have been seeing Franklin County Sheriff around a lot.
Been very good.
Thank you very much.
Been very, very out there.
No, that's got it, and you guys can, but I have seen different parts and it's pretty cool.
Good work, you pulled me over, Sue.
What?
That's good work, you pulled me over.
Already got a ticket, month one?
Okay, you know, she's trying to get me going. Sheesh.
Is there any other public comment?
There's no more public.
I know. So, library of the updates, trustees.
I have papers for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have hired a new director. Her name is Christine Walton, and she will start on the 12th of August. Sure. She lives in St. Albans with her family. I had asked her to put together a little bio for you guys tonight, so that's kind of the page with the picture of her there in the front. She is originally from the Toronto area, moved to St. Albans during COVID, like during the week of COVID, and has been here ever since. She has her certificate of librarianship from the state of Vermont. And we think that she's going to be a really good fit here, especially as we move forward with the potential new library. She has a ton of energy, is a wealth of knowledge, and is already keeping the trustees on their toes.
And the treasurer.
And the treasurer. I know that, like, when we had sent her the offer, she had found, like, discrepancies between town policy and library policy. She has listened to and read select board minutes and recordings from the last couple years. When we interviewed her, she had read our minutes from the last several years, and
Does she currently have a job?
no, she had seen the posting because we've been in this search for a little while, and she did not have her card to work in the US. She wasn't eligible to work until the end of June. So as soon as she got that, she applied for this position. So we are
Excellent.
hopeful that this long search has been worth it.
3 rounds was worth it.
I didn't think that I could ever say that, but I am. So the second page that I gave you, I had told her that I knew that it was, a bit of an ask to see what her top goals were when she started. I mean, she hasn't started yet. But I had asked if she could put together what that might be. And her top priorities were to support the needs of the public and to support the needs of the staff and of the trustees. And then she had some short and long-term goals there. She has some goals with the trustees to do some training with us. There are some areas where we thought that would be needed to work with the state librarian. She has some good connections there. And then also to work on the staffing needs of the library. We have one part-time staff now, and for her to just kind of settle in and figure out what she will need to run the library. And she has big goals of recruiting volunteers, which would be wonderful to have volunteers in the library. I think that it's a big ask for her to do that, and maybe a bigger goal than she's realizing that it is, but it would just be a great thing to get more community members involved.
By quickly reading through this, I think she's the one who's gonna have the energy to do it if it's gonna get done.
It was
You can almost feel the
Very
energy. You
motivated.
can almost feel the energy coming off the paper.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Yeah.
and read it in her emails.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you because I know you and your trustees worked very hard on this, so I appreciate all your diligence.
Any other questions? I don't know if you want one of these, Jess. I'm putting together, me and the rest of the trustees, 30, 60, and 90-day goals for her. And one of the things that I have on there is kind of to introduce herself and for us to introduce her to the community. So that would be just popping in at probably a meeting after the 12th that you guys have, just so that she can say, hey, this is the face that goes with this. To sit and connect with you, Jess, you guys in the town offices here, just so that she can.
I've had a couple people ask me about the library, and that's why I'm going to copy. I will bring this around to the Highgate residents so they can see it.
Stop in and see her after
That's
August
why I
12th.
wanted a copy, so this way here they can say, we do have in the library, this is who she is.
For
And it
now.
does have that August 12th date right on the
I
bottom.
see that.
Are the library hours gonna be the same for now, so people will know when they can stop in?
Priority number one for me personally, that I have tasked her with, is to put together proposed new hours, because we're working under condensed hours right now, since we
Yep.
only have one staff member.
Yep.
And we have discussed multiple times if we should change the hours at the library, and we just never have.
Yep.
So I said, we need to change them now to go back from the condensed to the open, so I've asked
Best
her.
time to do it.
I've asked her to put together a proposal of that. She has done that, and we will review that at our trustee meeting on Wednesday of next week.
Nice.
She has not proposed anything drastic, but there are changes from the
Yeah.
current hours.
Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recreation Department update, Jess?
Well, we've been busy. I think last time I was here, we were starting Little League. Our numbers this year stayed about the same. We had 111 players, last year we had 112, so there's no big change in that. We have our Bikes to Bar program with the library. We've had people in and out using them. It seems to be popular with grandparents that have grandkids visiting, which is nice, because they don't have to bring their bikes. Pickleball has grown this summer. We have a bunch of new people. And then there's the whole crew. We've been filling both courts almost every time that we play.
Excellent.
We started a new hockey program this year. We joined NHL Street, which is a new program with RCX Sports and NHL. We are actually the first program in the state of Vermont to join. Stowe tried to, but they didn't quite have enough kids to play. So next year, we're hoping that more communities will see that it's successful. They're currently playing right now. And maybe we'll get some more communities to join. We had the Crossroads Summer Camp over the past month. The kids got to come over to the arena for an hour and a half each week. And I would play games and sports and whatnot with them run around. It's a good connection with the school. Other summer programs that we've been doing have been Friday Flex, Summer Sounds concerts, which I would love to see more people come to. Saturday we have our mini golf day. We have the portable mini golf company come and set up an 18-hole course inside the arena. It's a free for all ages to come and play around the golf. That's Saturday, 3:30 to 5:30. We put in our new playground, which was one of our bigger projects for the summer. The installation took a little bit longer than we wanted, but that was out of our hands because of rain and the installer. But it is finally done, and all week we have seen kids that we don't usually see there that have been coming, which is nice to see. I wanted to add a note, thank you to Public Works for coming out and digging the hole. And then the day of the install, we ended up needing 10 more feet. And Cody ran over and dug it out right away, so it didn't push us back anymore, which was much appreciated. Our fall sports registrations are open, and that's for soccer and for cross country. We're currently doing pretty good. That deadline to register is August 16th. We're always looking for coaches, so if anyone wants to help there. Another big project that we've been doing is the pro shop. That's coming along. We're planning on having that open for the public the end of August, beginning of September, before ice season starts. And that brings me to ice season. We have about 6 more weeks. We have our usual 3 high school varsity teams, Monmouth, Sass, and Milton Youth. That will all be doing ice along with all the public programs. And this year we are working with Coach Megan Sweezy, who does Girls for Hockey. And we're going to have her come up once a month to put on a clinic.
Excellent.
And that's it.
That's it? What have you been doing?
And Big Al's is coming back.
And Big Al's is coming back. She's already getting ready.
You're doing an amazing job, thank you.
Appreciate all you do.
She also joined me the other day for a meeting with the rail trail, not council, but Vermont representatives to check out our site for our rail trail pavilion, and that sounds like they're very excited to have it, so that'll.
You're doing an amazing
work out.
job, you really are.
Any other questions for Jess?
I have one question. The front entrance, is that going to be settled before offices and engagements? I know you guys said something about what they were working on it, but I was just wondering if it's going to be done before.
So we won't start any construction until after the ice season this year.
Okay, that's what I was
If it
wondering.
goes as planned.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yes, it will interfere with the ice.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Okay, thank you.
There'll be a new entryway and anything in the lobby, or just an entryway?
The first draft of what we plan is a new entryway, adding an office right next to the entryway, extending the lobby to the glass.
To the ice
The ramp,
glass?
yes.
Yeah,
And
so you can watch from the lobby.
I think that was all the big parts.
Moving the snack bar.
Oh,
That's
and
not the
then
same.
pushing the snack bar out a little bit so it would make a little bit more space in the middle of the lobby before the hallway.
That'll be nice, it's always crowded in there.
Yes, that's big congestion.
Especially if there's big games like
Yes.
squash.
Not doing anything with the locker rooms.
Not this side.
I'm working on it. It's on
One step at a time.
my dream list.
Thank you again. Town treasurer, Shelley,
Mary, you have the check warrant in front of you.
do start with that. And has everyone seen the check warrant? Can I
Yes.
have a motion to accept?
So, second?
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
While you're signing, our tax sale date was originally set for September 5th. A lovely another new law had passed between the time our attorneys had sent out the tax sale letters, the notice letters, and the law. So Kristen Shamus at Monahan Ducharme did not send the letters before June 1st. Language on those letters needed to be just so. We did not include that language, so our tax sale has been postponed. We're thinking 2 weeks max, maybe 3, so it'll be later in September. She's resending those letters on their dime because had she done it probably a week before, we wouldn't be in this predicament. So we will not be billed for this reissuance of the notices. but it does kind of push us back a bit. Our current outstanding delinquent balance is $54,467.28. And as I said at the last meeting, there is one property that will be removed from tax sale because the newest law is they have to be delinquent for a solid year before they can be on that list. So I've been brainstorming. I think I'm going to start tax sailing almost immediately after our due date is October 31st. So if they've already been on the list for a whole year, then I need to start it sooner than later. So they're not in a position where they just can't catch up. I hate to do it that quickly but I don't know what else to do in order for people to just it's not helping them.
Right.
We'll deal with that as we get there next year, I guess. But for this year, there's only one that had to be removed, and it'll be delayed a couple of weeks. I was given some updated water cooler rental agreements to sign. Vermont Heritage got bought out by Vermont Spring LLC. I think they're still out of the Newport area, and they still deliver the same days, and the price hasn't changed. But we do pay for the cooler rentals, and we bought ours outright for the highway department, and I just did a quick search on Walmart. If we were to buy one outright, it's $116. Renting this every year is $150. Instead of me asking you to sign these, can I ask your permission to go buy two that we own?
I'll make the motion that we allow her to buy two of them water coolers.
So we're gonna let him know.
Aye.
All set.
Okay, so I'm gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna let him know that he can come pick those up if we're not renting them anymore. Lastly, I did send you an email, but just for the public to be aware, we did receive our educational tax rate. I kind of went, whew, when we got it, because it's not nearly as bad as I had expected, and it's not as bad as I've heard from other surrounding neighborhood towns. Our homestead tax rate is 1.5191.
That's education.
That is education only. Our non-homestead tax rate is 1.7646. And adding it within our municipal tax rate that was passed at town meeting, well, with the budget that was passed at town meeting, and the current grand list as of today, which could change slightly. I need to finalize it with Spencer before we finalize our numbers next meeting. But we are looking at, if your house is worth $100,000, you are looking at around $100 more this year. $150,000, you're looking at $150 more, and so on and so forth. $200,000, $200. So I've been hearing, I've been hearing around the $1,000 mark, Swanton,
Oh, yeah.
Swanton,
I have heard that too.
Fairfax, St. Albans. So I did kind of do one of these when I saw the numbers. So once I finalize everything with Spencer, we will set an actual tax rate for the town next meeting.
Sounds good.
And that's all I have, unless you have anything for me. I've been quite busy. My list used to be 40 items for audit, and they've added, and now it's closer to 50 items, and I'm pecking away at it, but it takes a long time.
Thank you.
Town clerk, Wendy.
Yep. You have minutes from, when were we last together? July 18th. I did send you one edit to change that.
Thank you.
Under, the ATV discussion. Somebody must have said Gore, because I wrote Gore, but it's not Gore. It should be St. Armand. And Ray LaRush caught it by reading our minutes. It came into
I didn't catch it until I saw
So,
the change. Oh, yeah, that's right.
as amended, I guess you could approve them if you didn't have anything else.
Do I have a motion to accept the amended minutes
Make the motion.
from Ben?
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay. And the only other thing that I have is is, the election. From here to the end of the year, that's all we're gonna be dealing with is tax bills and voting. So the primary election is Tuesday, August 13th. Our office schedule that week is all over the place. I did post it, but I will go over it here really quickly. We are open 9 to noon on Monday. We will be spending the afternoon over at the arena setting up for Tuesday. Tuesday, this office is closed. We will be at the arena from 7 to 7, actually more like 6 to 8, but polls are open 7 to 7. Wednesday, we will open a little late and try to catch our breath. We are open noon to 4 on Wednesday. We have a regular day on Thursday, followed by a BCA meeting and a select board meeting. And then Friday the 16th is actually a holiday. So these are posted, but different than what we're usually open. So please don't holler if you show up and we're closed. There's a reason for it. Absentees are still available. I have sent out 157 and 80 have been returned. So almost half are still out there with less than 2 weeks. So hopefully the rest of those will trickle in quickly. Please get them back to me by 7 p.m. on the day of the election for them to be counted. And other than that, I'm just keeping up with land records. This week has been a big week for the Highgate babies, so vital records is going crazy. That's it. So you can move on to Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Sharon.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask for your permission for Vern to sign a couple of contracts. First for the environmental abatement contract with Atlas for 1030 Monument Road. And that's just to do an inspection to see what we need to hire for environmental hazard removal. And that's all paid for by FEMA, so the only thing we'll have to be wary of is when that happens, the Abenaki Indians would like to have a representative there, and the state may also want a representative just to make sure that nothing is disturbed in the process.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the second one is the brick grant, and this is a portion of the brick grant that asks us to look at redoing our hazard mitigation programs. It's in the amount of $9,862.50. So I'd ask for permission for him to sign that as well.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I sent you some results from Endine, which was the company that we had testing the transfer station. They were able to test a few of the monitoring wells, and they tested the stream as well, upstream and downstream of the work we've just done. And we turned out perfect.
Awesome.
So we were a little nervous there, but things look good, and nice to have that right.
Exactly.
The next thing is the select board asked for an appraisal of 28 Mill Hill, and that has come in. The appraisal done by Larry Rutherford, who's a licensed appraiser, came in at $114,000 as a current value. That's just for your information. Also, we talked about the Village Core Master Plan pole barn on the property over there. We had a bid of $22,810 from First Response Labor for deconstructing the pole barn and transferring it to the transfer station road and reconstructing it. As a comparison, you have two quotes in front of you for a new building. One with concrete and one without, just to give you an idea of what that would cost. So that helps you to think about the way you want to approach that. whether you are still serious about that or whether you'd like to put it out to bid for whoever might want it, or if you want to just deconstruct it and be done with it, whatever floats your fancy. That is all I have for public. I do have a few things for executive that are legal and contractual.
We have a motion to,
I got one thing I need to
Okay.
bring up. I met with our fire chief, Gary Greeno, last night over at the station. Our tanker is sprout a leak in the poly tank. Best guesstimate is between 16 and 18 years old. That poly liner's been in there. It was back when Dave DeSorcy was chief, and we're thinking it was 16 to 18 years ago. That truck is slated for replacement in 28. I told him I thought our best bet was to contact Garth from E1. Talk to him about it. It looks like it's on the top, passenger side top, the front of the tank. It's really hard to tell because that's where the water's coming out. And I asked him to check with Garth if he thought that was possibly something that could have a catastrophic failure. Also to try to get in touch with companies that make those poly liners and ask them, you know, I'm just telling you this so you all know that we've got an issue there. We're hoping that it's not going to be catastrophic. If the leak is what it is now, it's minimal and we'll be fine. But just in case, I'm just giving people a heads up. That's all I got.
Look it up. The list.
Yeah, possibly. Might have to. But I mean, right now it's when I was on Franklin, we had a 1980 Ford Maxim with a steel tank. And every time we took it out, there'd be 10 gallons of water under it before, because it would leak out the rusty seams and stuff, and it would self-seal itself. So it's not like wasn't going to be a catastrophic failure, but it did that for years before it was replaced.
Okay.
We're hoping that this might be the same thing, but I just don't know anything about poly tanks. I'm guessing that it'll be fine, but
So Gary's gonna make those phone calls?
Gary was going to get in touch with E1, guy from E1, and also he's going to do some research on polytape companies. He thinks the guy that actually installed that one is out of business and gone, so there's no chance of any warranty or anything like that.
No, he came in and asked about it,
Yeah.
and I found all of the purchase information, and even if it was, I mean, it's almost 20 years old.
Yeah,
Exactly, from when we purchased it, so.
Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
okay, thank you. And did he say things are going well with Garth?
Yes.
And I
Couple
do have
things.
one more thing that
Okay.
I forgot to, before you go into executive.
Yep.
I got booted out of our system today for about 30 minutes because it's a really great system to work with. But it gave me the opportunity to focus on something else while waiting. And I went back to the reappraisal order and was trying to fill out the form, or start filling out the form, or see what was needed for our response in November. Turns out the response in November is more of a who, what, when, where, and why response, and so that RFP is gonna need to go out sooner than later. The state's response wants to know who we've contracted with, when they're gonna complete it, what system they're using to do it, all of the specifics pertaining to the reappraisal, which I cannot complete until we have a firm
Something to do with
in a contract. So we will be putting that out to bid probably as soon as possible. Sharon found a pretty good blanket one that we might be able to just plug in Highgate and move forward, but I'm gonna skim over it tomorrow and see if it's gonna work for our town or if we need something more or less, but maybe I'll even throw a Spencer's way, like, what do you feel?
Right, yes,
Does this work for us?
Isn't Franklin in the middle of a reappraisal?
I don't know if they're in the middle or if they
They are
put
further.
it out to bid, or if they
They're
put it.
further along than we
Here
are.
we are, so they might be another, we can steal their RFP and, I mean, there's no reason to create our own if every town in the
Right.
state is
Right.
doing it. It's out there, so, but just to give you a heads up, it will be posted probably as soon as we finalize it. One more thing.
A motion to exit the regular meeting, go into executive?
Make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
I
30 minutes, good job.